Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from the nation's capital, you're listening to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. Yes, we are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican and then the Socialist. Big night, big week, all before Election Day. So good to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Conrad Lucas, Chairman of the West Virginia GOP, is up in the hizzy. We'll have him on at 9-10 p.m. And the very beautiful and most brilliant foreign policy specialist ever on the history of the Exceptional Conservative Show. Yes, Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report, breaking it out at 10:10 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also going to give you some insights from my last essay, and so glad that it's been received by so many, and I will read portions of it to you. Also, don't tell the professor this. Thank you, Dave. Dave says I look sharp tonight. That's good. But I have not received word from Mary, so your opinion doesn't matter. Only Mary's opinion matters because she's the bouncer, and if she gets dissed, you diss her, you diss me, you will be dissed. Just don't diss nobody. Oh man, so glad to have you all here tonight. Mrs. Biggs is watching via Ustream or live stream. There are those who have teleported to the Euro Pacific Bank Limited TECS chat room at Broadcast Central on the Exceptional Conservative Show, and so glad to have them in there tonight. Okay, don't understand what's going on in that regard. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night is also a huge night. Tomorrow night we will have Martha Reeves on the air with us. We will have Dr. Patch Adams on the air with us. Joanne Shenandoah on the air with us. Stuart Weeks. And that's just in the first quarter of our program. It will be huge. Ken is also the popular conservative. Not really in Washington, D.C. I am not loved in D.C. Brandy Bohannon. Oh, beautiful loved one. Glad to have her here tonight. Dave Milner, the unpleasant blind guy. Glad to have him here tonight. And Mary Brockman closing out the chat roll this particular evening. Want to thank the good people. The Republican Overseas Germany Kaiserslautern region and Republican Overseas Germany for making me an editor of their Facebook page. Had a wonderful conversation with Eric Leon this evening. Thank you. I'm honored. Glad to be a part. Trust me, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff from now on in Germany. We're going to make Germany conservative. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, you know how we start this particular program off. I look like Moses holding this particular stone item. Actually, it's wood. For you all. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with a pledge of the allegiance to the United States of America. Now, if you're listening around the world and you're in a different country, where pledge to your country. But if you're a U.S. citizen, this is the baby right here. This is the one you want to pledge to. Kids, I want y'all to take it away. Remember, take off your hats and put your right hand over your heart. Take it away, kids. I had to give that final instruction.
Parents, ready, begin. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Woo! It is good to be an American, I swear. I mean, it's worth standing in line at the U.S. Embassy. Don't cross the border until you got your papers. Would you promise me you won't do that? Promise me you won't do that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to contact a gentleman who, and I won't say single-handedly because he is not that arrogant a man. But certainly, Conrad Lucas, who's been on our program many times, took on the challenge many years ago, I think 2 elections ago, in fact, to become the GOP of the West Virginia Republican Party. Now, why would anybody want to do that? I mean, it was a blue state. All right, we don't know why that happened. Okay, we're going to try it one more time here. In fact, we're not going to even try it on that one. We're going to try it on this one here. Okay. It was a blue state. That means it was all democratic. And quite frankly, there was no hope. Literally, many people thought that Manchin, who was then governor and then became senator, that was the hope of West Virginia. But, ladies and gentlemen, I must assure you, one ringy-dingy, 2 ringy-dingies, that this young man fought back.
What? West Virginia Republican Party, that's true.
West Virginia Republican Party, this is Ken McClinton live from the Exceptional Conservative Show. We're ready for the interview with Conrad Lucas.
All right, 1 second, I'm going to send you to him.
Terrific, thank you very much. This young man took on the challenge, and now, Conrad, this is Ken McClinton. You are live on the Exceptional Conservative Show.
Well, finally, Ken, I've been waiting on you to call me back for months.
Listen, it's not an election unless you're here, and I do apologize for that. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, this young man, not single-handedly, but an organization of many in West Virginia, turned West Virginia from a blue state to a red state, and they're working on making it a complete work with the governor's position. Well, Manchin's a little way off, but with the governor's position and Bill Cole. So God bless you. Congratulations on your successful work, sir.
Oh, it's been a great ride here. We've had a wonderful time, and West Virginia saw the light a few years ago, and we're continuing to. So we hope we can sweep all of our statewide races this year. And then I tell you, the morning of November 9th, we're going to start focusing on Joe Manchin because he goes down in 2018.
Thank you. You hear it here first. We have the target on Joe Manchin. Now, tell everyone, I mean, as great as you are, and as innocent as Joe Manchin is, why are you guys after Joe Manchin? What did he ever do to West Virginia?
Joe Manchin lies to West Virginia, and we like honesty. Joe Manchin endorsed Barack Obama, who destroyed our coal industry. When Joe Manchin was governor, he pushed through a cap-and-trade bill in West Virginia. And why anyone in West Virginia would ever support cap-and-trade is beyond me. But Joe Manchin did it so he could gain favor with liberals in D.C. Then when he got to D.C., he stood against the Second Amendment. He stood with Obama, and he's endorsed Hillary Clinton repeatedly. He has said that he cares more about Hillary's election than his own reelection. And, well, we'll just remind him of that beginning November 9th.
Wow, he's brilliant. Now, in terms of this particular race, because it's pretty silent in West Virginia besides the congressional races, the real light should be shined upon Bill Cole, who is running for governor. Now, when was the last time you all had a Republican governor for West Virginia?
The last Republican governor we elected Governor Underwood, Republican, in 1996.
Woo!
Now, over the last 70 years, we've only had 2 Republican governors. And so we've had Governor Archmore and Governor Cecil Underwood, and they each served a few times. But so yeah, it's been 20 years since we've elected a Republican governor.
Wow. Now, there's a reason why people love the Democrats in West Virginia. What exactly is that reason, and why are people listening to you now and turning the place red?
Well, we just present facts, I mean, the West Virginia Democrat Party and their candidates historically have tried to run as fake conservatives, so we just point out that they're fake. You can run and say you're for small government. You can run and say you're for the Second Amendment. You can run and say you're for pro-life, but when your votes say otherwise, we just pointed that out, and things have worked in our favor. It's never the wrong time to do the right thing, and calling politicians out on their lies is something that we like to do, and we're in that business. Now,
you have gained a great deal of notoriety for your state, because your state borders one of the most important, well, actually 2 of the most important states in the upcoming election, Pennsylvania and Ohio. And in fact, they never believed that they could count on West Virginia being red. Now, what did you do to make West Virginia red?
Well, I tell you, it's some simple stuff. It is your leadership on the airwaves. And helping us to talk to voters. But, I mean, it's simple. People always say that individuals vote with their pocketbooks, and they vote with pocketbooks and their wallets, and that's right. And all we've had to do here is prove, okay, well, what have the Democrat policies done? They've destroyed the coal industry. They've destroyed our steel industry. And they've absolutely put West Virginia in a situation where we've become socially dependent on the federal government, and no one likes that. People in West Virginia want to work. They want jobs. They want the government out of their lives. So that's simple. We just have presented to them how the policies of the Democrat Party have worked against them, and we've been honest about it.
Yeah.
And it worked. I mean, nothing about this is all that complicated.
Exactly. And a lot of people think it is. First and foremost, that Donald Trump was told that you have to spend billions of dollars to win an election. You have to love the media, and they got to love you back. And you have to build a supersized mega structure of groups of people to go out and, after payola of them on the streets, bring people in. And he's followed your lead in this regard. Do you get any credit for that?
Well, we talk. I talk with Donald Trump every morning. My advice that day.
But you showed them exactly how to win and turn a place red. And why did the rest of the GOP figure this out from you?
I don't think they figured it out from us. It's just the hardest thing about politics is figuring out how easy it is. I mean, you figure out your message and you tell people about it. Okay, how is that complicated? I mean, yeah, there are some logistics to it. Sure, you need to promote it, through your digital program, your TV, your direct mail, your door knocking. But basically, just figure out your message, see how that appeals to voters, and tell them about it. And then when you do that, you win. So,
Well,
it's not. That's the simple formula here in West Virginia. You know, think about like what's Donald Trump doing. I mean, has he raised the billions of dollars we've always been told that you have to raise in order to win a presidential race? No, but he's gotten attention and his message has gotten out there. So maybe he's just been a good businessman and found a cheaper way to win a presidential race, and good for him.
Wow. We're talking tonight with Conrad Lucas II. He is the chairman of the West Virginia GOP. You're happening to listen to us on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Media, and also rebroadcasting on Red Nation Rising. Listen, I want to go back to Bill Cole for a moment, because a lot of people say, well, listen, it's been almost 3 decades. When it comes to governor, you can have a Republican Senate and you can have a Republican House or Assembly in West Virginia, but the man running the game plan's got to be a Democrat. What's so different about Bill Cole that Democrats will say, hey, this is the guy I want?
You know, in West Virginia, we love coal, no matter how you spell it. So,
this is why he should be running for higher office. I tell you, I love Conrad. Go right ahead, sir.
well, I'll preview my slogan for when I do it one of these days, because you can't spell Conrad Lucas without C-O-A-L.
Exactly. Thank God for West Virginia and coal.
Absolutely. We powered empire proudly. It's, you know, I'll tell you, the thing that makes Bill Cole so appealing is because, talk about a guy who's not a career politician. Bill Cole got elected to the state Senate, and in his first term was elected Senate president because he'd been in the private sector his entire career, was called to public service as a man like him who had created jobs in West Virginia. He was now ready to turn to the next phase in his life, and he saw that in 2014, whenever we were all excited about taking over, we thought we could take over our state house.
Yeah.
Bill Cole thought, well, you can't do much with just one chamber. Let's take over the state Senate, and he helped lead that charge. And then he was elected, deservingly so, Senate president. So he's a natural gifted leader who, under his leadership, at the first time that Republicans have been in charge of the legislature in West Virginia in over 80 years, we passed right to work. We passed several pro-business tort reforms. We also passed pro-Second Amendment and pro-life legislation, all just because Bill Cole knew we could. And we think about, like, okay, I mean, when you don't see obstacles, but you see West Virginia's had so many barriers to creating jobs here. Like I mentioned, Joe Manchin passed a state-based cap and trade act, so we had a lot of work we had to undo. So it was simple. You put down a list of top 10, 15 agenda items we needed to pass, so we passed them.
Right, exactly. I mean, you all did a tremendous job. And Bill Cole, God bless you, sir, because there was incredible angst against him when it comes to the idea of taking away the rights of labor, the rights of employees in this regard. And there was a promise to you, Conrad, in some of that stuff that was going on in West Virginia, that you're the guy that we're going to get rid of in the GOP chairmanship. We're going to find someone else who's able to deal with crossing the aisle. Sir, how was your last election?
Unanimous, Cass.
Conrad Lucas.
The ways challenges get put down.
So you have a solid base right there in West Virginia. A solid base. You are very strong and a victor, a winner. Something Pennsylvania and Ohio wishes they had. And you were also, with Bill Cole, attempting to do something that hasn't been done in 30 years, and that is to have a conservative Republican governor. Now, I know that you probably listen to the polls that come out every single day. So, according to the polls, how is Bill Cole doing against his Democrat opponent?
Everything is out there. I would put it right now. Of course, we're into early voting. Well over 100,000 people have already voted. Polling data says the race is basically tied. So we are. It's a turnout operation at this point. And one of the reasons I feel so good about Bill Cole winning is because, as we've seen in West Virginia, the past few election cycles, we know how to turn out our voters, and they don't.
Yeah.
Because Democrats in West Virginia have no reason to vote because they know they're not going to turn out to vote for Hillary Clinton because they know Hillary Clinton has said she wants to unemploy a lot of coal miners and put coal companies out of business. So why would they want to vote for that? Nobody does.
Yeah.
And then in Jim Justice, the Democrat nominee for governor, they have a guy who owes $15 million in back taxes. So he has chosen to put $4 to $5 million of his own money into his campaign, but he ignored his taxes. So that's not how we can govern a state.
No.
So the Democrats are deflated because they have horrible nominees with horrible policies.
This is simply this is like lightning in a glass jar for some odd reason. You all are handed. I mean, Donald Trump was handed Hillary. And you all are handed all these guys who have issues and problems and concerns. What's up with the Democrat Party? Is it just that they're that weak, or is it because we're that strong?
It's a combination of the two. We do have strength. I think about this year, we had 17 people run for president of the United States on the Republican ticket. All 17 of them would have been such a much better choice for president than Hillary Clinton. I mean, all 17 of them. So that just shows the strong bench we have. I mean, of course, Donald Trump won, but there were 16 other very strong folks out there who all could have also beaten Hillary Clinton. I mean, and some of them, of course, are going to be around in politics for a while. I mean, look at how young, say, Marco Rubio is, Ted Cruz. Look at these folks. Yeah. Our bench is just so strong. And they were running, Hillary Clinton was having trouble with Bernie Sanders, who's a 74-year-old socialist. So I mean, why they ever thought that was a good idea, I don't know. But, we had record turnout for the Republican Party everywhere, all across the country, because we had 17 strong people who drew attention to our party, but they also drew out the attention of the problems in Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
So we've just seen motivation. And of course, in a state, and I think on a state level like West Virginia, where, what can a Democrat justifiably say in West Virginia that they would do for us? They controlled the state for 84 years.
Yep.
Our population peaked in 1950. And over the last year, we're the only state to lose population. Over the last 8 years under Obama, we have lost more coal jobs than any time in history. And yet we still saw the size of government grow. So what on earth? How can a Democrat in good conscience speak to the people of West Virginia and say that they represent our values and that they would do good stuff in our state capital or in D.C.? They can't.
Exactly.
So we're honest that we can.
Conrad Lucas II, I'm telling you all need to hook up with him on Facebook and as well with Bill Cole, who's running for governor of West Virginia on Facebook. You can do that if you come to the chat room, the Euro Pacific Bank Limited, TECS chat room at the Exceptional Conservative Show Broadcasting Central. And definitely, you want to get on board with winners. One of the major problems with the Republican Party inside the Beltway, 495, is they don't understand what winning is all about. You're talking with a guy who's a real winner, Conrad Lucas II, and his goal, his ambition when he initially came on our program was to turn West Virginia red. And my God, what ambition, and it's being duly rewarded for his labor. One more question about Bill Cole before we go to the break. And then when we come back, I want to talk with you about some of the other federal elections. There's someone out there tonight on the down low listening in West Virginia, and they're saying to themselves, listen, I know that you all have been working hard. You got legislation passed. You even have a black woman, Jill Upson, representing a major district in West Virginia. You have done an exceptional job. But I'm fearful because tonight Hillary Rodham Clinton just might be ordering fireworks to explode over New York City because she knows she's going to win. What can you tell me that Bill Cole can do even if Hillary Rodham Clinton wins?
Well, what can Bill Cole do? I tell you, it's when you control a state, the best thing about America is that our 50 states are 50 different laboratories. We had, despite the fact that we had Barack Obama in the White House, Bill Cole repealed cap and trade in West Virginia, passed right to work, and handled the legal reforms that have been holding West Virginia's business community back for generations. So that's what you can do when you control a state capital completely. And those are the absolute types of reforms that any governor can do without answering to Hillary Clinton. I mean, yes, we'll have to fight Hillary Clinton if she were to win. God forbid. We'll still have to fight the ETA. We'll still have to fight against the overreach of Washington. But with a Republican governor and a Republican legislature, and particularly a Republican attorney general, we can do all those things. We can fight back.
There we go. Conrad Lucas II is joining us in the second quarter of the Exceptional Conservative Show, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Remember, before we go away, in West Virginia, it's Bill Cole. No matter what else they have on the ballot, it's Bill Cole. Got to do that one first. We'll be right back.
Bill Cole first. Yes, sir.
From day's first light till night's last glimmer, your satisfaction is our responsibility. On the range or in the field of duty, you can rely on Brownell's lifetime guaranteed gun parts, tools, and supplies. Anytime, any place. It's how we've done business since 1939. Brownell's.
Meet Jason. He was really excited to start growing his business with social media until he realized how complex and time-consuming social media can be. It's difficult to manage multiple social networks and accounts. It's hard to monitor what's happening on social media, follow discussions, and engage with new followers. It's time-consuming to publish updates throughout the day, track and analyze how effective posts are, respond to fans and followers in a timely manner, and gain new customers. The list seems to go on and on. Jason quickly becomes discouraged. How could he ever do all of this and still run a business? He was ready to give up on social media until he found eClincher, the easiest way to manage social media. Jason was amazed how straightforward and simple it is to use eClincher. With eClincher, Jason is now able to leverage the power of social media without having to dedicate several hours a day. He can easily organize all his social media accounts in one place, efficiently plan and schedule his posts ahead of time, engage with his followers, understand the effectiveness of his efforts with powerful analytics, find new customers, and much more. In order to tell your business's story, simplify the process of managing your social media, and analyze results, sign up with eClincher today.
My name is Shannon Wright, and I'm running for Baltimore City Council President. In 2012, Jack Young won with 38,000 votes. Currently in the city of Baltimore, there are 32,000 plus registered Republicans. For all of you in Baltimore that say you're tired of the current leadership, you're tired of failed policies, you're tired of higher taxes and lower services, get out and vote November 8th. Shannon Wright for Baltimore City Council President. Thank you.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to the nation's capital. You are live. We are talking with none other than Conrad Lucas II, who is the chairman of the West Virginia Republican Party, a winner and one that the GOP needs to be watching on the horizon with our very strong bench of conservatives in America. And in fact, Conrad, when you came on my program first, we didn't have commercials. How about that?
Yeah, we're all growing up, Ken.
We are definitely all growing up. I want to ask you here on a very serious tip, because a lot of people, a lot of Democrats think that the Hillary Clinton issue is all about something that we all have on our desk, or that we carry with us every single day, our tablets, our phones, whatever. It's about an email. And we all get hacked. So, you know, I don't understand why the email issue is so very important. And I don't understand why you GOPers are harping on this issue. First and foremost, is it merely about a floppy disk issue, or are we talking about a national security issue?
She broke the law and she caused national security issues. That's why it's important. I mean, that's the underlying issue. I mean, the woman was a Secretary of State of the United States of America and broke national security and lied about it. So it's simple. It's beyond emails. I mean, yeah, everybody's email could be hacked. I mean, Ken, good God, I don't want to know what's in your email. I have a feeling,
and I don't want to know what's in yours, Conrad.
It probably wouldn't breach our national security and cost Americans lives.
Exactly.
And as we know, Hillary Clinton. I'm going to have to borrow a phrase that I read. I think I read it just earlier today. These emails it's revealed so much illegal coordination with the Clinton Foundation that it's just this web of lies and deceit that, you know, someone, I think it was in the American Spectator today, referred to the Clinton family as a crime family. You know, the way they've tried to control our country and manipulate every bit of international security issues for their own personal benefit. It's humiliating to us as a country, and it's scary. Yeah. I mean, the thought of this woman being president should scare us all.
Exactly. Now, the other issue, because you are a lawyer, and we forgive you.
I'm not very good at it.
Well, that's okay then. But we're talking about a bigger issue, and that's the Clinton Foundation. And a lot of people, especially Democrats, are so basically blind because of their philosophical beliefs that they can't see that there's a large vessel of corruption inside the Beltway and out, and that is the Clinton Foundation, and that Hillary Rodham Clinton used the State Department as her horning organism to gather wealth and resources from around the world in a corrupt manner. And the term I used last night with Howie Coleman, who is the president of Coleman Detective Agency and actually did investigation on the Vince Foster case, he said RICO, racketeering, that this fits. If you say that, is that a bad thing? If I say, is that a bad thing that this woman and her husband would be subject to judicial intervention if this was an ordinary Justice Department?
I mean, can you believe that a candidate for one of the major parties for the presidency of the United States of America, that we're even having to talk about that? I mean, clearly the emails have revealed, have confirmed the suspicions that the Clinton Foundation was corrupt and that they've used the citizenry of the United States to make themselves wealthy and put us all in danger. But we're talking about even more potential federal crimes. We're 7 days from an election, and I mean, there are scenarios where this woman could get elected next week. And how on earth has she, she made it this far without going to jail? We just have to look at the Justice Department itself. I mean, thankfully they're reopening the investigation, but I mean, investigations take time. We need to vote for Donald Trump, and that's the end of it.
Exactly, because I mean, people don't understand. They've been investigating the Clinton Foundation at least, at a minimum, for the past 4 years. And they were stonewalled by the President of the United States and by the Justice Department. They've been investigating her on 3 other issues outside of the email situation regarding classified. Because when you look at it, the racketeering charges are more important than the classified charges. Is that the way the the FBI may be looking at this issue?
Yeah, they very well could be. Look, that's how they may be. That's how they may be viewing it. But it's it's sad that we're in a position right now as we're having to even figure out, is the FBI going after her on national security issues, on various corruption issues, or RICO? I mean, wow.
And this is a Democrat candidate for the presidency of the United States of America.
Yeah. I mean, this is something. I mean, this is a fiction novel. This is a Manchurian Candidate kind of movie. I mean, this can't be reality. Like I said, let's just vote for Donald Trump and move on, and just forget that she ever made it that far.
Now, in finality here, and I thank you so much for coming on the air, and we've got to have you come back in the coming weeks, because I think you have the answer that the GOP doesn't pursue or doesn't understand. And I think Donald Trump may have heard a couple of these interviews and went along with your game plan. But in all sincerity, what do you do on November 9th with all those Democrats that crossed over and voted for Donald Trump because they didn't want to vote for the Manchurian corrupt candidate, the one who would have killed Thomas Becket if given the opportunity? How are you going to collect them and make them Republicans?
Well, that's the best part, because they will have made the first step on their own.
Yeah.
You know, they will. It's like a recovery program. They solved the problem, and then they made the first step on their own by voting for Donald Trump for president. So that means they're already ready. They're ready to listen to us. They're either ready to listen to us, or they're so upset with their own party that they're looking for a new home.
Yeah.
So that's simple. It's keep them involved, because if they'll vote for you once, no, they'll do it again, but they have to know that you care. They have to know that you're listening. They have to see you. You have to be in the Republican Party has to be in their communities, and then we have to do good things for our country, and we have to prove it to them that we earned their vote. We didn't. Maybe we're going to get a lot of Democrat votes just because Hillary Clinton's so bad. That's fine. We'll take it, but then we need to keep them by doing good things for our country.
How do you keep the How do you keep the conservatives home?
How do we get a conservative? I think that Hillary Clinton's doing us a great favor with that right now. So whatever she's doing, keep doing it.
Conrad, tell everyone, first and foremost, in finality, why Bill Cole, why he needs to be elected, and why the people overseas need to sit in their AFAP for Bill Cole.
Bill Cole deserves to be elected because West Virginians deserve to be better than 50th in all the bad categories.
Yeah.
And it's important for us to have change in this state. Bill Cole led a revolution in our legislature, but his only inhibitor was the fact that we had a Democrat governor. Let's give him the opportunity to prove what he can do in the next 4 years as our governor. Excellent.
And Conrad, how can those conservatives that are very fearful that the GOP has left them behind, and how can the Democrats who are trying to catch the train get in contact with you?
Hey, our website, wvgop.org, has all of our contact information on it. We need volunteers. We need boots on the ground. So folks who are listening who might want to be part of our governor's race or any of our races here, we desperately need you. And, of course, find me on Facebook, or I'm on Twitter at Conrad WV. And, you know, sometimes I'm whimsical and fun on Twitter, and sometimes I'm boring. You never know what mood I'm in. But get in touch with me that way. And what I look forward to, Ken, here's an issue I've got to bring up with you that it's a request.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a little upset about it because I know this is an opportunity, but we can fix that. The fact that you've had Diamond and Silk on, and you've never done a Diamond and Silk and Conrad show, it's a little disconcerting, so I'm just throwing that out there, and I think we can move past that by having a Diamond, Silk, and Conrad show.
You know what? I will work on that for you, Conrad. If you make certain that Bill Cole becomes governor, I will make certain that we make that happen. How about that?
That's an agreement, and I like how you play, Ken.
I learned from you. Conrad Lucas II, he is the best chairman of any state GOP in the country. I say that all hands down. And a lot of the GOPers need to start listening to this guy. In fact, never mind, I won't go there. But with Conrad Lucas, God bless you, and thank you so much for coming on tonight.
God bless you, and thanks for having me, and vote Trump.
All right. Bill Cole, Trump, West Virginia. Remember it, ladies and gentlemen. What did Dave say? Dave says, get in line, Conrad. I already want Ken to bring me in on a show for like that. I love Conrad. That man is a genius. And it's, I'm not going to say he's wasted in West Virginia, but it's a lot of people around the country that need to invite him in on November 9th to their offices and talk with him about how do they turn things around in their state. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick break. I want to thank the good people, because when we come back from our break, the Red Nation Rising people who are on the Liberty Channel at 2 a.m. in the morning, you all will be leaving us, and you often miss some of the best of the most influential urban conservative talk show in the country, and that is Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report. How can you listen to them? I'll tell you what you do. As soon as the most exciting part of this particular first half of our program ends, pick us up on Sackheads Radio Media, SHR Media, or High Plains Pundit Media, and listen to the other half of the program. It gets more and more exciting every single day. And yes, if you enjoyed Diamond and Silk, there is so much more. Tomorrow night, we will have Martha Reeves on our program. We will have Dr. Patch Adams on our program. We will have Joanne Shenandoah on our program. We will also have Lonnie Poindexter, who is the most handsome man in radio. We will have Ralph J. Chittum's The Kraken, and shutting down the night will be none other than the most vivacious woman who should be, empirically, the president of the Baltimore City Council. Shannon Wright will be joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, our shows are big. And listen, I don't have all that everybody else has, but I do have the best. Can we go with that? Also, more importantly, those great people who are in our chat room, the Euro-Pacific Bank Limited TECS chat room at the Exceptional Conservative Show Broadcast Central. William J., thank you so much for joining us tonight. Brandy, smooches. Mary is my bouncer. If you diss her, you diss me, you will be dismissed. Dave, the unpleasant blind guy. Milner, who is often mistaken for the underground professor, Dr. Michael Jones. But I will change that. I'm working on that. And in fact, let me just do this one more thing. And I know I have to go to a hard break. All right, let me just do this one more thing. On Thursday night, at 9:05 p.m. is New Day Black and Red. The underground professor, Dr. Michael Jones, will be with us. We will be talking about three things: Thomas Becket, the 9th and the 10th Amendment. Thomas Becket, the 9th and the 10th Amendment. No, I'm not the ordinary conservative talk show. I'm the exceptional one. We'll be right back with more of the best right after these messages.
So what do you think about ebooks? Maybe you've never read an ebook before, but you're considering giving it a try. Or maybe you've been reluctant to try ebooks because you don't want to buy another expensive electronic device. Or maybe you already enjoy ebooks, but you haven't been able to find titles from your favorite Christian authors. Whatever your situation, ChristianBook.com has the solution. Your trusted source for print books for over 30 years now offers ebooks. Our always free CBD reader allows you to read on the devices you already own without spending money on a new device. Thousands of Christian ebooks at ChristianBook.com means you can shop with confidence and choose from the titles you want. Plus, we are adding new titles all the time. Browse our huge selection of low-priced Christian ebooks the same way you would printed books. Only now you can go from shopping to reading in seconds. Simply select the ebook you wish to purchase, confirm your account information, and start reading. Free samples of every ebook are available, so you can preview the book first before you buy it. Plus, there's no lengthy app downloads and updates. Accessing the CBD Reader is as easy as going to cbdreader.christianbook.com and bookmarking the page. The CBD Reader holds your ebooks and bookmarks for you, no matter what device you're on. So, you can take your entire ebook library wherever you go and pick up right where you left off. Our customizable options make it possible to read your ebooks in different font sizes and styles. Want a large print version? You've got it in seconds with a simple click of the mouse. Already own a dedicated e-reader? Download your ebooks to your computer from your ChristianBook.com account and transfer them to your device. Try ebooks at ChristianBook.com and start reading your favorite books in seconds. Easy, economical, everywhere you want to read. Welcome to ChristianBook.com ebooks.
My name is Shannon Wright, and I'm running for Baltimore City Council President. This city deserves leadership that recognizes that this is a city of communities and of families, and leadership that will put that first so that we can have community policing that keeps our streets safe, community schools that educate our children, and community development with an eye to an economic future that strengthens all of our families. The current leadership has been silent for far too long, and that's why I'm asking you November 8th, 2016, vote Shannon Wright, Baltimore City Council President. Bye, Jack. I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive chef of Infused Restaurant, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the meals that we prepare here. We're making a pizza. We use fresh Italian sausage that we cook here and slice it up. Our pizza dough is in-house made. Our pizza sauce is in-house made. So everything is fresh ingredients. This is our Thai curry chicken. The sauce is made with coconut milk and the Thai red curry. It is juicy chicken thighs as well as some mixed vegetables, served with jasmine rice and pita bread. So now we're going to prepare our famous blackened tilapia and grits, our fish and grits on the menu. Once the fish is ready, and our meal will be complete. Let me tell you about our infused beef burger. When we kick the spice up just a little bit with our infused sauce. We start off with 80-20 USDA ground chuck ham patty burgers, like half a pound of burgers, and we're going to grill it to perfection. After I flip the burgers, we add the sauce and let it cook on into the meat just a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of pepper jack cheese to this burger to spice it up a bit.
Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday night, I will be headed to 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland. And the reason is simple, because I am a great friend of Dave Milner. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to order the exceptional one. I'm going to order it in the morning for pickup. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because Dave Milner has been so loyal to this particular program. He comes on the program, he does various show talks, and his work is just renowned. And he needs to be rewarded for that. And so I shall reward him accordingly. I'm going to order the exceptional one. It is a huge burger, 2 double-pound burgers with bacon, double the bacon. It's about the size of my face, and I am going to bring it on New Day Black and Red Night to eat and share with my good friend Dave Milner. See, that's the kind of guy I am. I'm going to share the experience of eating that burger. Now, you can have the real experience by actually going there to 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland, with your friends and with your family. And I'm telling you, once you've eaten there, it's very rare that you'll eat any place else in Washington. It is just that good. And yes, my wife likes all that veggie stuff, and that's how she keeps her slender body and everything. And That's nice. But real men, get the infused burger. So I'm going to tell you, Brittany said, how about we all go meet for a huge and wonderful one at the Trump Hotel? Oh, as soon as Donald picks up this show, and we'll do that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to go over a couple of stories that you'll find at Broadcast Central, the news section of our program, the Exceptional Conservative Show, the newsroom. And the reason is that often these are stories that you don't get from anyone else. And one of those particular stories, and you're not going to hear it on the mainstream, you're going to actually hear, let's see, oh, no, we don't want to do that. The FBI released documents today on Mark Rich on the pardon that William Jefferson Clinton gave him. Now, the White House didn't tell the Clinton Foundation PAC, known as Hillary and Bill, that they were going to release those particular documents. And in fact, they were quite alarmed by it. And the very simple matter is that on the last day of Bill Clinton's, tour of duty, we'll call it, because it must have been almost wrenching for him to get away from all the ladies of Arkansas. Well, in this particular case, the FBI released, the Bill Clinton on his last day in office, right before he got on the helicopter to leave, signed papers giving a pardon to Mark Rich. Now, I know some of you in Europe know who Mark Rich is, since we are an international radio program and many people around the world hear us. I know you know who Mark Rich is because he spent a lot of time in Europe running away from the $15 million of taxes that he was due to the Internal Revenue Service. See, yeah, it's easier to chase after the guy who owes $4,000 or $5,000, but you certainly don't want to chase the guy who got $15 million due. He happened to be a friend of the Clintons, and like their son-in-law, he was a hedge fund manager. Talk about love for Wall Street. Well, the hedge fund manager left for Europe owing that particular amount of money in taxes to the Internal Revenue Service. They were fast on his heels. Before he left office, he signed a pardon of Mark Rich. Now, you would think, as the Clintons did, that this stuff would be nailed down forever within the walls of the FBI, and certainly nobody would ever tell the world what took place in terms of protecting a tax evader. Well, Obama had to practice of protecting a tax evader who's not really a reverend, but he is a Sharpton. So they have a great deal of experience with this. So there was always the expectation that this administration certainly would not turn their wicked eye against the Clintons, but they did. And so what they did today was release, it was a 196-page document. I haven't finished reading it, so it's a very long document. But what they did as a result of the FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, was release the actual information regarding the reason for the pardon. It's 129 pages, not 196. It felt like that. And so while they were all redacted, the FBI made this very clear. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and Records Management Division receives thousands of FOIA requests annually, which are processed on a first-in, first-out FIFO basis. By law, FOIA materials that have been requested 3 or more times are posted electronically to the FBI's public reading room. So now I know how to do this. I'll get 3 of my friends and we'll do it shortly after they are processed. Per the standard procedures for FOIA, these materials become available for release and were posted automatically and electronically to the FBI's public reading room in accordance with the law and established procedures. Clinton's former White House Chief of Staff, John Podesta, was involved in that too. The hits keep on coming for the Clintons. I don't know how you could possibly vote for them. Unless, of course, you are as corrupt as they are. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next few, we will be talking with none other than our lovely Princess of Foreign Policy Talk, someone who brings the complexities of foreign policy down to the kitchen table so that you're able to utter it back to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Janis Hall will be joining us in the next hour of the Exceptional Conservative Show. Stay tuned. Don't go away. And if you do go away, come back.
Even when I'm busy in the kitchen, it's important to me that the special people in my life know how much I care. I choose edible blooms because it's the perfect choice. Traditional flowers and chocolate all wrapped up in one. Edible blooms are made fresh daily using the very best seasonal produce and Belgian chocolate, all crafted by hand and delivered Australia-wide. Edible Blooms has the perfect gift for any occasion. edibleblooms.com.au.
Audio Jungle.
How's it going? I'm Julian Klenda. This is my son Anthony Klenda. I'm the owner of Maine Lobster now. I grew up in the lobster industry. I worked with my father for almost 15 years. My father's company, Klenda Seafood, distributes lobster products to different restaurants and stores locally. I have relatives scattered all over the United States, and they always wanted Maine lobster, but couldn't always make the trip to Maine. So when I was in college, I developed my business plan to distribute lobsters nationwide. I developed an easy-to-use website to simplify the ordering process, to help people out and answer common questions. I've also negotiated shipping rates with different carriers so I can offer a reasonable shipping rate to my customers. We work closely with local businesses, including the Lobster Shack at Two Lights, located in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, Black Point Inn, located on Proud Snack in Scarborough, Maine, and the Residence Inn Marriott, located in downtown Portland. At Maine Lobster Now, we exert humane delivery practices to ensure comfortable transit for your lobster. My goal is to deliver the healthiest Maine lobster to your door.
Hi everybody, it's Kristen. I'm here to review women's spirits made by dogs. I love these shoes. I am an FM sufferer, so finding shoes that don't make my feet hurt is very tough. These don't make my feet hurt. I've tried Pumas, I've tried Nikes. Nikes are pretty good. Pumas I can't wear. They hurt my feet too much. I mean, it's to the point to where my feet hurt so bad to where I can't even walk. So I was so happy whenever I was contacted to review the new dogs. I love these dogs. I love these things. My feet don't hurt when I wear them. They got the holes in them to keep my feet cool. They got massaging bumpies inside. Feels like you're walking on little things of foam. I mean, like, it's just awesome. I just love it. The heel is a deep well down in your heel, and it protects. It's a shock absorber. So if you're running in them or jumping in them, like if you're on a chair and you have to jump in them, it absorbs the shock. What else? And then it's a higher thing back here for your heel. So it's like a really high thing that protects your ankle from when you're running, so there's no injuries, so it doesn't cause injuries. It's Velcro, so it's very easy to tighten your shoe, so whenever you're running, your shoe won't fall off when you're trying to run. I love these shoes, and I hope you guys really appreciate this review and there will be pictures at the end, like always. But I wish you would guys go check them out. They're only, these women's spirits are $40. There's a whole bunch of other kind of shoes that you can purchase as well. There are children's shoes, toddler shoes, infant shoes, men's shoes, women's shoes. Anything you can think of, they got it. And they're pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. We certainly are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation, first to the Republican and then the socialist. Yours truly at the helm, Mary Brockman, my bouncer in chief, in the TECS, actually it's the Euro Pacific Bank Limited, TECS, chat room at Broadcast Central, holding down the fort. I want to thank everybody who's in there and coming on board. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a young woman who is so hard working. I mean, literally very hard working. And all day long, she's thinking about this. What is the best foreign policy for America? So I want to bring her to the helm tonight and thank her so much for spending time with us. She is none other than Janis Hall, and this is the J. Hall World Report, live on the Exceptional Conservative Show. Are we going to do one ringy-dingy? Two ringy-dingies? Three ringy-dingies? Four ringy-dingies? Good evening, Janis Hall, the J. Hall World Report. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Awesome, awesome. You know, there's not much news going on around the world. Kind of boring, isn't it?
Well, I mean, compared to the Clinton stuff, it seems that way.
I wanted you mind if I talk with you about that just quickly?
Sure. That's, you know, that's been the news, right, for the last like 3-4 days.
Exactly. Let me just say, if Theresa May, who is the Prime Minister of England, Great Britain, if she were running for office and you found out, or at least the people of Europe found out, that she was possibly racketeering, possibly putting at risk national security, had a chief aide, her valet, whose laptop information was under Yahoo, which had been hacked. Over 500 million accounts were hacked last year, which may have been hers as well. That she was hiding for 5 years Anthony Weiner's affections for minors. If all those particular things happened, do you think Theresa May would be Prime Minister of England today?
I don't think so. Others might disagree, but I don't think so.
So how is it that Hillary Rodham Clinton, who has proven like none other that she could put national security at risk without even trying, how is she the best experienced candidate for the post of President of the United States?
Well, I mean, she certainly has the most experience dealing with corruption in the government. I mean, she has that going for her. I mean, by the way, I'm going to say I like that she's able to put national security at risk without even trying. That's pretty impressive.
She got skills.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, really. I mean, we all know that the Clintons have been doing shady things for decades, and the only reason they're probably not both in jail with all of their cohort is because they've done a very good job of covering up the truth, lying, and intimidating any opposition. So, I mean, I still hold out hope that one day they will mess up and we'll actually be able to process them as we should.
Yeah.
And hopefully this new information will help with that. But it is kind of ridiculous to think that you have classified documents on a personal computer that's being used by someone who's essentially doing illegal things. I mean, like, not only are those things, those classified documents, not supposed to be on the computer,
Thank
but
you.
that computer is also doing illegal things. I mean, really.
So, if you're going to pass out pictures of your lower extremities, you're normally going to go to websites that are nefarious and thus subject to great risk of hacking and other information being passed out third-party wise. So when Hillary Rodham Clinton is blaming the Russians for hacking the DNC, shouldn't she be looking in the mirror at the fact that it was her server that may or may not have been hacked, which was passing information to someone who was sexting 15-year-old girls? I mean, it doesn't seem reasonable to me that she's the person who should be running the country.
It doesn't sound reasonable to me either. And, I mean, there's a lot of other reasons it doesn't make sense for her to run the country. But this is definitely one of them.
Now, I got a message today from Eric Lean, who's with Republicans abroad, Republicans overseas. I'm sorry, don't confuse the two. They're two different groups. Republican overseas in Germany. And he was telling me that there are individuals in Germany who were former ambassadors to the U.S. who just love Hillary Rodham Clinton. Speak passionately for her, even though, my God, she's a national security risk. She's a walking national security risk. Well, when people are carrying her. So,
they're just saying those nice things because she probably bought them.
Okay. Oh my God! Is that how the world sees her? As a pimp? A pusher?
I mean, I definitely think she is, she does a lot of wheeling and dealing. And that seems to be the case, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. If she's looking at, would you want her meeting with Putin now or Xi Jinping, forgive me, from China?
No. No. I don't understand why we're contemplating electing a person who can't even pass a security clearance.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, really, people. And I don't know why they're so upset about Russia hacking. I mean, seems to me Russia doesn't even have to try. They just have to.
They just have to open up a Yahoo account. Oh my God! Oh my God! Is this the person who's going to represent the United States of America? In your opinion, is she going to win next week?
Oh, that is a hard question. I mean, it's looking like she might not, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she might not.
Yeah.
I would have said a week ago that maybe, but possible she won't. I can tell you one thing that I think is going to happen that that this election is not going to be over next week. There will be lawsuits. There will be so many other things that are going to go into this. But I think it's going to be the election that just keeps on going.
You know how we were following the Philippines story, and everyone was saying that's not really an important story. I don't know why you're following it. And then Duterte came to power, and we were right about that. At least you were right about that. I take credit for all the times you're right.
Okay. I'll let you do that.
And people were aghast at the fact that he is liquidating the drug trade in the Philippines with great force. And people were laughing at him because he said he wants to get rid of the U.S. in the Philippines. I mean, that's Duterte.
Yep.
I mean, we have Hillary Rodham Clinton. I mean, isn't she the laughing stock of the world today?
I mean, I would hope so. I would hope so. I don't know. Maybe they really like her because they know that they'll be able to continue doing whatever it is that they were doing. She's not going to stop them.
Oh, corruption. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I can't even believe it. I was watching the news Friday night, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I mean, I mean, we have the fact today that the polls are indicating that Donald Trump is going to win North Carolina. That just came out today. And we have the polls that show that he's well ahead in Florida. So those are two down. And he's basically in Pennsylvania at this point. I mean, Pennsylvania is up in a toss-up at this particular juncture. There is a possibility that Donald John Trump will be president of the United States. And not because Diamond and Silk came on our show last night and said it, but because of what happened on Friday at 1 p.m. What was your reaction when you heard that the potential future president of the United States, valet, had all of the emails that she deleted?
I mean, I was surprised. I was very, very surprised. It's, not something that normally happens. I think I've always been expecting that she would be in trouble with the law for something or other. So, from that fact, I'm not particularly surprised. But it would happen essentially a week before the election, and it would be related to a case that was supposedly closed, was very surprising. I figured they'd have something with the Clinton Foundation or something like that, and it would likely happen after the election. That's causing, more issues. But no, apparently it happened before.
Wow. Constitutional crisis. And it seems like a lot of people in America wouldn't mind having one. Is she going to get pardoned by the President of the United States on the way out the door?
I would hope not. And maybe I'm not sure how this works, but don't you actually have to be convicted or something before you get a pardon?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure she's not going to be, go through that whole thing, before Obama leaves office.
See, that's why we have you on the air on Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock, because you bring out the most evidentiary points for people to understand. And quite frankly, it was genius by James Comey. There is no way they're going to be able to finish the case by the time Obama leaves office, so he can't pardon her. And if she wins, she will cause a constitutional crisis if she pardons herself. Nixon didn't even do that. So,
right. Yeah, that would be entertaining.
Oh, sit back and eat the popcorn. At this point, who would make a better representative to the world of capitalism conservatism and constitutionalism, would it be Hillary or would it be Donald?
It would be Donald. I think that as, bombastic as he is,
yes,
I think he can still be, presidential, and I think he's essentially hiring his voice services to the U.S. So I appreciate that.
Wow, like I could have never imagined that there are millions of people in America, and millions of people in America, they're willing to pull the lever, press the electronic button for Hillary Rodham Clinton to represent them as ambassador to the world, to become the president of the free world, to become the most important commander of military forces in all of the world, as corrupt as she is. It's unimaginable to me. To you?
You know what I think it is? I think it's a very clear case of hubris. I think that the Clintons have gotten away with so much. They feel as if they can control every aspect of the political game that Hillary thinks that she deserves to be president, that it's her right. I mean, there's no good reason for the Democrats to have chosen Hillary. I'm sure that they could have found some other Democrat who hadn't broken the law so egregiously to run, but they didn't. They essentially had one person. It was her, and that was it. And I mean, and the reason I think they did it is because she had the power, and she said she wanted to do it, and they basically had to acquiesce to that.
Wow, my God! When you speak of hubris, you would think that the woman would be willing to step aside when there was time for them to find someone else to better represent. Even though when you look at their bench in comparison to all the conservatives who ran the last election, our bench is much deeper, as Conrad Lucas said earlier, but there had to be one or two others that could have possibly put up a good fight for the Democrat Party. And she was so selfish that she wouldn't do it.
Right. And I mean, I think that essentially, I mean, look at the Democratic primary. You had Clinton and Sanders, who's technically an independent, and I mean, essentially, she had no opposition. It was hers all the way. I thought there was one other person who was running, but he didn't get them there. But I'm just imagining that. But point being, the Democrats, Clinton didn't really run in the primary. The Democratic people, people who consider themselves, members of the Democratic Party in the U.S., not just the, I don't know what you're going to call it, the Hill people who run the Democratic Party, they really didn't get a say in who their nominee could be. They basically said, this is your nominee, and you will support them. And that has so far been what's happened. And I think that, yes, I think that Hillary Clinton is so, well, I'm not just going to say just her, because I think it's, somewhat of a family trait. I think that she is just so, obsessed with having the control and the power that it doesn't matter, what's good for the country, what's good for the party, that she is just going to, it's going to be hers, and that's the reason why. Because quite frankly, I can't even believe they were having this conversation after having two Bushes, that we would then have another Clinton. And I mean, I'm sure Jeb would have been great, that's fine. But I don't think anybody wants to see the presidency becoming the same people from the same family over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a monarchy. We're a republic, not a monarchy. At least we used to be. At least we used to be. We're listening tonight to Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report. I am telling you, this woman is without peer in foreign policy, and we thank God for her being with us every Tuesday night. I want to jump on over to some issues that need to be addressed. One is Venezuela. And once again, you were ahead of the game before everybody else. Congratulations to me.
Congratulations.
And we were just looking for the moment that Venezuela would just collapse. It has. It is now a dictatorship, which means that it's a good time for Barack Hussein Obama to jump in. What's happening with Venezuela?
Well, a little bit earlier, Maduro decided to jail some opposition leaders. They've since been released, and they decided that they were going to try and have a sit down and talk about their issues. And at this point, Obama apparently thought it was a good idea to send a mediator down there to try and facilitate these talks. Well, these talks actually didn't end up happening, at least they haven't happened so far, because apparently the opposition leaders can't actually agree on who should go and what they want to talk about.
Oh, we would love to meet with you, but we don't know what to talk about. Oh my God.
And this is not looking encouraging.
Oh my God. This is so embarrassing. Coming towards the end of this administration. This is, I mean, one embarrassment after the other.
And we haven't even talked about Obamacare.
We have.
You and I haven't talked about Obamacare.
Oh my. So what of one embarrassment after the other? What will come of this this thaw in conversation with Maduro?
I don't think anything's going to come from it. I think it's going to continue as is. I also saw reports that Maduro said people in the city should just start planting gardens to grow food.
Oh my God! Oh, urban agriculture, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So, when is the revolution going to take place?
Well, I mean, I keep hoping it's going to take place at some point in time, relatively soon. I think they're still a little ways away from that. It's also entirely possible that we'll see, some large migration happening where a lot of Venezuelans will just, move to, Colombia. So that's possible too. But, yeah, it's not looking very good.
Not looking very good at all. This is simply amazing. Want to go real quick to South Africa, and then I want to talk with you about Obamacare. Apparently in South Africa, freedom only exists for those who are able to pay for it. Am I correct on that?
I would think so. Yes. So while we in the U.S. are having our own, constitutional crises, with our election and corruption, the South Africans are really the ones currently paving the way. They have had, their president has been essentially using taxpayer money for, all of his personal things that he likes to do, like his house and everything else. Just in general, making money for himself and his friends. And he has been asked to step aside by people in his own party who think that essentially he's putting a bad image for the party, which is true, he is.
Yeah.
And he's just, kind of being rather Clinton about it and sitting back and saying, no, make me, essentially.
God. Oh my God. It's the immense, audacious spirit around the world of corruption. I mean, that the taxpayer's job is to take good care of you. And it's just evil. Is there anything good that's going to come out of South Africa?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not in the near future.
Wow. So all of this requires all of us just rising up against those powers that be and saying enough is enough, take them out of power, and put good people in. That's virtually where we've gotten to.
Pretty much. And I mean, this isn't just a problem in South Africa and the U.S. Europe has a huge problem with this as well. Essentially I'm going to go a little to go on here, but essentially we're creating a society where, the intellectuals, the elites, are essentially governing the rest of society.
Yeah.
And it's not, we, the rest of society, are not actually having any say in any of the policies or actions or ways of spending that the government is doing.
Exactly. Want to ask you your thoughts. Obamacare, was that the issue that knocked everyone over into the Trump column, or was it the email issue on Friday?
Okay, so I'm probably going to say it was more the email issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the Obamacare does not help at all. I think that's probably one of the things that got the ball rolling, because Trump obviously was surging in the polls even, before the Friday announcement from Comey. So I think it's possible. I think that, no matter who gets elected, Obamacare is not going to survive in its current form. And so, basically, Obamacare is done. It was a bad idea to start with. It's been a bad idea all throughout, and I think it's gonna die.
Thank God Almighty. What do you think? Because we need to work out our situation next week. We're supposed to be going on a little earlier for Election Day coverage, 6 p.m. Eastern Time next Tuesday. We will not be on the air next Monday night. So we got to work out a way of getting Janis on with us in terms of that coverage. But, Janis, what do you think the final popularity percentile will be? 52, 48? How do you see it?
Okay, so I actually don't think that either one of the candidates is going to get above 50%.
Wow! Wow!
I think in the four-way race, we're probably going to see something like 49, 40,
49,
48, and then, a few percentage points for the other two.
For all the two. So 49%, and who's going to have the 49%?
I'll say Trump, because he does seem to be rather popular currently.
All right. So what we have done in our chat room is we have recorded Janis, the J. Hall Row Report, saying that the race will be 49 for Trump, and for Clinton, it will be 47. There we go.
47. I'm going to say high 47.
High 47. So there you go. So that's what it is per Janis Hall. There we go.
my bet.
There we go.
Yeah.
And Janis is normally right about most things, so she's probably right about this one too. So
I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. The one thing, though, is the electoral map is still unfriendly to conservatives and Republicans. So that could be bad news.
which is a sign that we need to go back and make certain that the state houses are full of Republicans and conservatives, because we have 2020 coming up, and you need to make certain that the census tracts line up so that you win. I know that's wrong. You know, I think everything should be equal, but to the victor go the spoils. There you go.
Yeah. Yes. The electoral map is it makes me angry because I think that it should be relatively equal in terms of ways that you can win for both parties, and that is clearly not the case.
Wow. Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report, and this was a wonderful conversation with a very young woman who understands foreign policy, brings it down to the kitchen table so that we can all understand it. What we have here is a spirit of corruption around the world, and gosh darn it, it's an embarrassment. It would be an embarrassment if America sent Hillary Rodham Clinton to the presidency. Forget about justice.
It would be an even bigger embarrassment if we sent her to the presidency and then, you know, she's been arrested.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Well, at least the FBI knows where she will be. We love you, Janis. Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report. Thank you so much. And we're going to try to get you on next week. We're going to work something out, all right? All right.
Awesome.
Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report. Oh, my goodness. Just a wonderful woman. We are about to enter, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. Mary Brockman says 62-35. Wow, Mary. Wow. Donald Trump 62, Hillary 35. Dave said Trump 46. Mary, would you write these things down? Because we need to get Sean to come up with his, and Clint and Jersey Joe. We need to hear theirs. And whoever wins will get the exceptional one burger. There you go. So we'll work something out. Wow, 62%, Mary. Wow. Dave says 46-44, Trump. And when we come back, I will tell you what I think the number will be. And you all might not like it. You're listening to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from the nation's capital. We are certainly not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation, first to the Republican and then the socialist. We will be right back with more of this conservative talk that you love so much.
The best late night conservative talk show in America, TECS Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than TECS Sean and TECS Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late night conservative talk, TECS Radio. The best late night conservative talk show in America. In America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Custom clothes, I do have some stuff from Shein. So today I have a Shein setting with Shein and Shein. Shein from Shein. It is this beautiful maroon, like shiny, easily becoming one of my favorite sweaters that I own. I like this one so much more. They're just so nice. I like it. It feels nice. They're smooth and soft. On websites, I've always wanted to know quality. I really, really love it. It's really cute. I love it. A lot of a good graphic to get. Really like it. I really like the style. I love the style. Yeah, I love it. It's so cute. It's a romper that is beautiful. I just love it. I've been wearing this like for hours.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction, guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hi, my name's Tim Burton. I'm from the United Kingdom, and I'm fighting for a strong Europe like you guys are fighting for a strong America. So please, vote for Trump.
Hallo, ich bin Tatjana und Patriotin aus Deutschland. Ich kämpfe für ein starkes Europa. Tut das auch, für ein starkes Amerika kämpfen und deshalb vote for Trump.
Ik ben Edwin, een patriot uit Nederland. Ik vecht voor een sterk Europa. Vecht voor een sterke Amerika. Vote for Trump.
Jag heter Ingrid. Jag är patriot från Sverige. Jag kämpar för ett starkt Europa, precis som ni amerikaner kämpar för ett starkt Amerika. Så snälla, vote for Trump.
Mein Name ist Werner Wirth. Ich bin Obmann von Begid in Österreich und österreichischer Vertreter bei Festung Europa. Ich kämpfe für ein starkes Europa, so wie ihr US-Bürger für ein starkes Amerika kämpft. Darum bitte ich euch. Vote for Trump.
Mina olen Maria, Eesti patrioot. Ma võitlen rahvusriikide Euroopa eest, nii nagu teie võitlete Ameerika eest. Vote for Trump.
Olen Juha, isänmaallistava Suomesta. Taistelen Euroopan puolesta, kuten te taistelette Amerikan puolesta. Vote for Trump.
Jeg hedder Tanja, og jeg er en dansk patriot. Jeg kæmper for et stærkt Europa, ligesom I amerikanere kæmper for et stærkt USA. Please, vote for Trump.
Aš esu Tomas ir aš esu Lietuvos patriotas. Aš kovoju už stiprią Europą, kaip ir jūs kovojate už stiprią Ameriką. Todėl prašau jūsų, vote for Trump.
Jmenuji se Olga Havlová, jsem patriot České republiky, bojuji za silnou Evropu, tak jako vy Američané za silnou Ameriku. A proto vote for Trump.
Ik ben Jimmy Vlaanderen, een Vlaamse patriot. Ik vecht voor een onafhankelijk Vlaanderen, een sterk Europa. Ik vecht jullie voor een sterk Amerika en vote for Trump.
Je m'appelle Christine Tesla, je suis patriote de France. Je voudrais une Europe forte. Comme vous, Américains, vous voulez une Amérique forte. So, vote for Trump.
Buongiorno, sono Attilio, patriota dall'Italia. Combatto per una forte Europa così come voi combattete per una forte America. So please, vote for Trump.
Nazywam się Jerzy Kenik. Jestem patriotą z Polski. Walczę o silną Europę, tak jak Amerykanie walczą o silną Amerykę. Dlatego vote for Trump.
Soy Pablo, patriota de Respeto España. Lucho por una Europa fuerte, igual que vosotros americanos lucháis por unos Estados Unidos fuerte. Por tanto, vote for Trump.
I'm Peter Loughlin, a patriot from Ireland. I'm fighting for a strong Europe, just like you Americans are fighting for a strong America, so please vote Trump.
My name is Shannon Wright, and I'm running for City Council President in Baltimore. Let me be very clear. Baltimore is not Vegas. Now, you may be wondering, what does that mean? Well, this is what it means. What happens in Baltimore doesn't stay in Baltimore. Let that sit in for a minute. When you live in Maryland and you're outside of Baltimore and you look at Governor Hogan's reelection, you look at Senate, you look at congressional, you look at your individual property values, you look at Maryland as a whole, Baltimore is not Vegas. What happens in Baltimore does not stay in Baltimore. If you live in Anne Arundel County, you live in Howard County, you don't think that the issues that happen in Baltimore and the crime rate that's rising in Baltimore trickles out into the sleepy little suburbs? It does. So if you want Maryland to be the place it should be, with lower taxes, with safe streets, then you need to be active and present in Baltimore City. We need your support and we need your help. If you've got a couple of hours, either the week of early voting or election day, log on to my website and let me know. ShannonWrightFromMaryland.com. We need your support. We need your help. We can make Maryland what it needs to be together. Thank you.
Woo! I've seen a lot of places, I've been around the world. I've seen some pretty faces, been with some beautiful girls. After all I witnessed, one thing still amazes me. Just like a miracle, you have to see to believe. God bless Texas with his own hand, brought down angels from the promised land. Gave them a place where they could dance. If you want to see heaven, brother, here's your chance. I've been sent to spread the message. God bless Texas. First he let the sun shine, then he made the water deep. Then he gave us moonlight for all the world to see. Well, everybody knows that the Lord works in mysterious ways. He took a rest, then on the very next day, God bless Texas with his own hand, brought down angels from the promised land. Gave them a place where they could dance. If you want to see heaven, brother, here's your chance. I've been sent to spread the message. God bless Texas.
God bless Texas. Yeah. Welcome back to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. That was abrupt. God bless Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in tonight and being with us. Dan Butcher, we want to give kudos to, first and foremost, before we do anything else. Actually, we want to give Jane the kudos, but we'll say Dan, the man Butcher. Jane does all the hard work. Dan is sitting in his lazy boy chair, sipping his lemonade, demanding with a bell Jane to do stuff, and she's just so sweet. She does it. Dan the man Butcher happened to do something amazing with the organization called High Plains Pundit Media. And we want to acknowledge his success today. And this is how you know that I want to thank him for his efforts, because quite frankly, our working together, I've become an international platform for conservatives and for the movement around the world. And I want to thank him so much for giving me the format through High Plains Pundit Media. High Plains Pundit Media did something amazing today. Actually, it was Jane, but we'll give Dan some credit here. High Plains Pundit Media website had 14.3 million listeners. 14.3 million listeners, readers, and viewers in the last month. That led to a total of 43.5 million page views. And to put that in perspective, High Plains Pundit Media is the equivalent, and actually exceeding, Town Hall Media. And it is an extreme honor to know him. I've really have enjoyed working with Jane. I mean, Dan the man Butcher. But congratulations to you, Dan, your hard work and your efforts on making High Plains Pundit Media the success that it is. And we're looking forward to a very long relationship with High Plains Pundit Media, with Dan the Man Butcher, doing all the hard work. But great job, man. Great job. And I just want to say that today I want to send a shout out to Mike Lean Eric Lean and the good people of the German Republican Overseas. And also, let me get this straight because I don't want to mess up the region. I am just honored. In fact, Republicans Overseas Germany, and also Republican Overseas Germany, Kaiserslautern region. They have made me editor of their Facebook pages, and so I'm very appreciative of that. And we will keep Germany abreast, just like we want Germany to keep us abreast. And this is the thing that I really want, because a lot of people don't think about the 6 million people who are overseas. I think it's 6 to 8 million, somewhere in that area, of overseas American citizens who hold down the fort. I'm not talking military, because military is a different group, and God bless your souls. But these are the individuals who are corporate heads and all the other individuals who serve the embassies and everything else. They're going to have corporations overseas. And men and women go overseas to live, to spread the good news of conservatism, capitalism, constitutionalism, and conservatism. And God bless them. But we need your input on this radio, video format. We need to hear from you. Trust me, you are not forgotten. And I assure you, I will never forget you. I served a short term, about 4 or 5 years with the Federal Voting Assistance Program at the U.S. Pentagon as an ombudsman. So I understand the importance of your vote, and I understand the importance of you being included in the things that are happening overseas, which is why we have a section on our front page also for those who are international listeners, where you can arrange your travel. You can get pottery and other fineries that my wife likes. You can order stuff. We want to make you comfortable where you are, and we will continue to reach out to you. And we even have those who subscribe to the von Mises theory of banking, the Austrian School of Economics banking, which is why we call this the Euro-Pacific Bank Limited TECS chat room. They understand that central banks are destroying the world purposely. And so you can open up an account with the Euro-Pacific Bank Limited. I believe it's $500 to open up an account. I don't know what it is in your specific currency that you use in that particular country, but it is vested and protected by gold and by silver and other assets. They don't make loans. So this is a bank that understands that your money means a lot, not just to central banks and to political organizations and governments, but it's your money and it needs to be protected. So we ask that you check them out, the Euro-Pacific Bank Limited, while you're overseas. I told you before I left that we would give you what I think is going to be the closing numbers for the campaign, the political campaigns next week, what's going to happen in the election. And I know some of you all are not going to like what I'm about to put out here on the screen. Now, I want to preface that by saying that earlier in our conversations with, and Mary Brockman is keeping a record of everything y'all say. So there. But I believe that we got, what was it from I think it was 4644. Yeah, 4644 from Janis Hall, and a few other numbers. Mary had 6235, which I thought was awesome. Donald Trump winning. So I want to give you all. Dan said he was going to give us his numbers, and then he didn't give us his numbers. So we're watching you, Dan. Mary's writing these numbers down. I want to give to you my numbers. I believe Donald Trump is going to win next Tuesday. I believe he's going to win 52% to Hillary Clinton's 45%. I also believe, and this is how you know that the evening will be over very soon. He's going to win Pennsylvania. He's going to win North Carolina. He will win Ohio. He will win Florida, and you will find that out at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Once you have known that he's won Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida, you can go to bed. It's all over. He's won. Now, the only other option I can think of, and neither one of them crosses 270, which the way it looks like, it's a possibility that neither one of them will cross 270, and the House of Representatives will decide in the new year who will be president of the United States, which is why I'm going to encourage you to vote GOP and vote it strong. Not that the new body will vote them in, but the current body will vote them in. And quite frankly, we will have Donald Trump as president if left to the House of Representatives, which means he has to kiss up to Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is hoping for this. I'm just letting y'all know. He's really, really hoping for this. Dave says, Janis, Mary's holding on to these numbers now. Okay? I want y'all to know, Mary's my bouncer. She's holding on to these numbers, and I love her so dearly. She's been with me since the very beginning, held in there with me. When I was about to give up, Mary said, hang in there. Now we have a chat room called the Euro Pacific Bank Limited TECS chat room. Imagine that. Janet says 49.47. Ag says 46.44. You got my numbers, and I say it's going to be 52.45. But so we're just waiting for Dan's numbers. And anyone else who wants to chime in, I put that question out there for those to answer. Danny says Trump wins popular vote 51-49. Electoral college will be up for grabs on election day. So there you go. Dan the Man Butcher. Put that out. And Mary, write it down. Write it down now, Mary. Dan Butcher and High Plains Pundit Media will be putting together election night coverage from 6 in the evening until well past everyone's bedtime in Guam. We will be following this particular situation. We will encourage you to stay tuned with us. I believe that I will be on their network throughout the course of the night. But we'll be working all those details out, and I will let you all know that on Thursday night on New Day Black and Red. And tomorrow night, Martha Reeves will be with us, and Joanne Shenandoah. Dr. Patch Adams will also be with us, along with the other litany of great commentators that we have on. This has been a very big week, hasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a very big week. And I didn't even get a chance to do my essay. I didn't even do my own essay. But I will tell you to do this. When you have an opportunity, it is a very popular essay, and I'm going to encourage that you get an opportunity to read it. It's called The American Voter Has a Choice. Pay your mortgage or pay your Obamacare bill. And quite frankly, I really enjoyed writing it. And Dan the Man, please get my essay out there. Please. There you go. Get it out there for everybody to read. All the 14 million. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for taking time to be with us this week. This has been just extraordinary. And it's just a sign of what's going to happen with the Exceptional Conservative Show even after elections. We're going to be bigger and better, and I assure you, even more profitable. Everyone told me when I started on February 28th, 2011, we don't know why you're doing it, Ken. You're not going to be successful, and no one's going to listen. I want you to always remember, the final answer is never given by man. It is always given by God. And I want you to remember this if you don't remember anything else I've said tonight. God bless America. It's time now for America to bless God. We'll see you tomorrow night, Martha Reeves and so many others. God bless you and good night from Washington, D.C. Kick it, Heavy D.
Everybody, shake your body. We don't feel, we chill at a party. We prove that's sensual, three-dimensional, unquestionable, love it, professional. Got a category, my own, and I'm the president. Don't be alarmed, but I'm showing up the resident. With my particular style particular, extracurricular, smoother and trivial. Throwing lyrics like a throw blackjack. You ever chicken me nugget, and I'm a big man. Brain smoke solo, having Coca-Cola. Doing very well, cause I took the right road to this bag. Paper.